Namaste. Welcome to this session with Vidya Nahar. Please consult your physician to ensure the suitability of the exercises in the following video for your specific needs. The creators and distributors of this video are not responsible for any injuries or damages caused to you by following the exercises demonstrated in this video. Thank you for your interest. Good luck and best wishes. Please keep up your breath and posture awareness throughout this practice. Namaste. Welcome to today's segment of your daily yoga pilates practice with Vidya Nahar. In the month of January, I posted a daily video of a set of 15 different 1-minute moves of yoga and pilates that you can practice every day. In the month of February, I uploaded videos with small pilates equipment such as the stability balls, the med ball, the ring, the tubes, the discs, the dyna disc, the bosu. Beginning today, March 1st, I'll post a daily yoga video that will be more topic specific, such as yoga for eyes, yoga for lower back, yoga for upper body strength, lower body strength, or breathing techniques, breathing importance. So to begin with, today I'm going to talk about breathing. First and foremost, why is breathing important? So probably you're saying, oh, because we cannot live without breathing. And you're absolutely right. So breathing is our connection to the world around us. That is our first connection of breath. If we are breathing, we are in this world. If we are not breathing, we are not here. But breath has two more connections. Think about it for a second. Can you breathe for past or future? And you'll probably say no, because we cannot borrow breaths from the future, or we cannot take breaths from the past. We have to breathe in this moment for this moment only. Whereas thoughts always take us either into the past or into the future. We are either worrying about something that's about to happen in the future, or we are regretting about something that happened in the past, or questioning about something why it happened in the past. But we don't need any thoughts to remain in this moment. So our breath is our connection to the current moment, whereas our thoughts rob us of this current moment. So keep coming back to your breath to remain in the present moment. So this is our second connection. Breath connects us with the current moment as well as to the world around us. Now the third connection of the breath is with our own mind and body. There's a three-way connection between mind, body and breath, and each of them can affect the other two. Now body is the easiest to train of these all three. If I ask you to raise your right hand, you'll easily do that. Or if I ask you to stretch your right leg, you'll do that. But if I ask you to close your eyes and stop thinking about your mom, and chances are thoughts of mom come rushing to you. So it's hard to control your mind. And similarly, if I ask you to bring your breath all the way to your toes, it's much harder. So out of the mind, body and breath, body is the easiest to train, and that's why we spend so much time on physical training, because then you can regulate your mind and your breath through your body if you are aware. Now, harder than body is the breath to train, and hardest of the three is the mind to train. So to start training your breath, first step is awareness. And so breath also affects your mind and body. For example, if you're not aware of your breath, such as you are really mad, you're saying something and you are really upset about something, then you may find your breath is shallow, you're breathing up to your chest level and not going towards the diaphragm. So your emotions took charge of your breath. Or let's say you're doing some physical activity and you're running and you start panting. So that means now your physical activity took control of your breath. So if you're not aware of your breath, your physical activity, your body, or your emotional activity, your mind will affect your breath. But if you're aware of your breath, and if you're breathing consciously, diaphragmatically, evenly, with your inhale smoothly evolving into exhale, exhale smoothly evolving into inhale, then you can actually alter the state of mind and body. So there is a three-way connection between mind, body and breath, and each of them can affect the other two. So this is the third connection of your breath. Let's recap. Our breath connects us with three separate things. First is the world around us, second the current moment, and third our own mind and body. Now apart from these connections, why the knowledge of breathing is so vitally important is because breathing is the only process in the body that we can engage in consciously or unconsciously. What are some of the conscious processes in the body? That if I ask you to stretch your legs, you could easily do that. If I ask you to start walking, you can start walking. So those are all the conscious processes of the body that we engage in, such as standing, running, walking, eating, all the conscious processes. What are some of the unconscious processes? The blood circulating in the body, the lungs functioning, kidneys functioning, your heart working, your liver functioning. We know all these organs are there in the body, but we cannot control their functioning other than eating healthy food and keeping ourselves physically fit. We cannot specifically guide the functioning of those organs. So those are unconscious processes in the body. But breathing is the only process in the body where the conscious and the unconscious processes come together. So if we forget to breathe consciously, we still keep breathing because, as we noted before, we need to breathe to remain alive in this world. So you'll start breathing unconsciously. But if you actually start breathing consciously, as I said before, you can alter the state of mind and body with the right kind of breathing. So that is the most important thing, why the knowledge of breaths is so important. And that's why in the 8 steps of yoga, yama, niyam, asana, pranayam, which is the control of breath, is one whole step of yoga practice. And the next 4 are pratyahar, dharana, dhyan and samadhi. So we'll come to these topics eventually, but today let's keep our focus on the basics of breath. So now you know the importance of breathing, and most of the times we take our breathing for granted because it stays with us from birth to death without us even thinking. We really don't give second thought to it, but that's a very basic thing that we should be taught right from the childhood, what is the right kind of breathing. So now that brings us to the qualities of a good breath. There are 7 such qualities. First quality of a good breath is keeping it deep. That means engaging the diaphragm. Diaphragm is a dome-shaped muscle that separates our chest and abdominal cavities. It's right here. And so when you breathe diaphragmatically, the air, incoming air has volume. Because if you might have seen in the balloon, when the air goes in the balloon becomes bigger. When the air goes out, the balloon becomes smaller. So that means something that had volume went in. Right now we are sitting in a sea of air, but we cannot really prove the existence of air until you show something expanding and contracting with the air going in and out. So similarly, when the air comes all the way down to the diaphragm, it presses your diaphragm, it flattens it, and it makes the ribs flare out and it makes your stomach expand. Now on the other hand, if your breath is shallow breath, if it's at the chest level, you'll find your chest moving. And that puts a lot of pressure on the respiratory system. So if you are letting your breath come down all the way to the diaphragm, it will look like this. Bring your thumbs towards the ribs, middle fingers towards the center. So when you exhale, draw the stomach in consciously and you'll find those fingers coming towards the center, together or not. And then with your inhale, even though I'm not pushing my belly out, it's the incoming air that I let come all the way down towards the stomach is expanding my stomach, separating my fingers. Try it again. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's try it differently. Bring your right hand on the belly button, left hand on the chest. So ideally you want your right hand to move out and in, not up and down with your breath. So inhale, if you let the stomach relax, you don't have to push it out, just let it relax and it will expand with inhale. With your exhale, you'll contract because now you are throwing the air all the way down from your belly button region. So you have to contract the stomach here for exhale. Let's do 2 more times. Inhale. So my right hand is steady. I'm not moving the chest. I'm moving my belly. It's not me actually, it's the incoming air that's moving my belly out, and the outgoing air pulls the stomach in. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Very good. So this is deep diaphragmatic breathing. Now why we should engage in deep diaphragmatic breathing? There are several advantages to this. First and foremost, because this is a deep diaphragmatic breath, it takes longer for your body to bring that breath in, and it takes longer to go out. So this is a slow breathing. It slows us down. It gives us more control over what we are doing, seeing, thinking. And this is a soothing, calming, relaxing breath when you are doing diaphragmatic breath. When you are doing chest breathing, it's a shallow breath, it's a quick breath, and puts a lot of pressure on the respiratory system. Second thing, if you are breathing diaphragmatically, you are engaging the stomach muscles in every single breath. That means you are activating these core muscles. Your lower back has no muscles here. The muscles are in the front to support your lower back. So if you are engaging your stomach in every single breath, guess what? You are strengthening your core and supporting the lower back. And you cannot go down on the floor in the middle of a movie theater or a mall, or if you're at work or if you're watching TV, and suddenly start doing crunches to strengthen your abs. But you can breathe no matter where you are. Breathing is appropriate in any place, any setting. Nobody is going to ask you, hey, stop breathing, why are you breathing? So use this breathing that's appropriate in every moment, in every setting to your advantage by breathing diaphragmatically and using every single breath to build your core, to increase your metabolic rate, even the resting metabolic rate. That will help you burn more calories even when you are sleeping. Once you get into this habit of breathing diaphragmatically, it will be very hard for you to go back to chest breathing. Now it feels so unnatural for me to breathe from the chest. It's so tiring, it's so exhausting. When we are babies, for example, I'll go down on the floor and you will see that you notice the stomach of the baby is coming up for inhale and going down with exhale like this. It's very natural to breathe diaphragmatically when we are little, and as we grow older we forget that diaphragmatic breathing. We start building more and more stress on the inside, and that makes our breaths more shallow. So practice this diaphragmatic breathing and don't treat it as your yoga breath. This is your every minute breathing. Every breath should be diaphragmatic. So that's your diaphragmatic breathing. First quality of a good breath is deep breathing. Second, even breathing. That means keeping inhale and exhale of equal length. Incoming breath is energizing, outgoing breath is relaxing. So if your inhales are longer than your exhales, that will build more tension in the body. If your exhales are longer than your inhales, it will build more lethargy in the body. So that's why it's important to keep your inhale and exhale of equal length, unless you have a specific intention. For example, you are really wired up and you are having trouble falling asleep and you want to relax, then you may want to elongate your exhalations, make them longer than your inhalations. Or if you rise in the morning and you want to be more energized, or you are feeling depressed and you want to boost yourself, your confidence, then you have your inhalations longer than exhalations. But if you don't have a specific intention behind the practice, then go with your equal inhalation and exhalation. That will restore your equilibrium, keep you more balanced. So deep, even. Third very good breathing practice is breathing slowly. You might have heard that animals like turtles live up to 200 years, 300 years because they breathe very slowly. We all come in this world with certain number of breaths assigned to us. You might have heard this before. But even if you don't believe in that, just listen to this for a minute. Just like a bank account, you have some money in the bank account, and the faster you spend, the faster your account will be depleted. Similarly, the faster we breathe, the faster our quota of breaths will be depleted, leading to our end. So if you take your time to use your breaths slowly, consciously, you'll be able to enjoy those breaths longer and live longer, happier and healthier. So deep, even, slow, three qualities. The fourth quality of a good breath is quiet. A lot of times you might hear people's breaths because the breaths are obstructed. The airflow is obstructed in the back of the throat or in the air passage. There is some kind of blockage. That's why snoring happens. So keeping your breath quieter is the quality of a good breath, and you can do that by energizing your channels through your daily breathing practices and stretching your body, opening up all the energy pathways in the body. So deep, even, slow, quiet. Fifth one is without pauses. If you are aware of a pause in between, just come back to the even flow of your breath. A lot of times we forget to breathe because we get pulled in something that we are doing, or we're trying to focus on something, and then we realize suddenly, oh, I was holding my breath, and then we let it out. If you find that, that means you were robbed out of that current moment and you got pulled into some other place or somewhere else. So come back to that even flow of your breath. Inhale, smoothly evolving into exhale, exhale, smoothly evolving into inhale without pauses in between. So deep, even, slow, quiet, without pauses. Sixth one is without jerks. Again, if you find this irregular breath flow, come back to the even flow of breath where there are no jerky movements, because all your energy pathways are fully open and you trained your body to breathe diaphragmatically, deeply. So deep, even, quiet, slow, without pauses, without jerks. And the seventh quality of a good breath is through the nostrils. Now why through the nostrils? We know that nose has hair, and those hair filter the germs and the bacteria in the air outside of us when we take that air in through the nose. So it's important to inhale through the nose. But why should we exhale through the nose and not through the mouth? You might have heard in a lot of fitness classes, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And that's not very healthy. Why? Just bring your right hand, I'm doing your mirror image, bring your right hand in front of your nose or mouth, howsoever you're exhaling, and feel the texture and the temperature of this outcoming air on your hand. Take about 3 to 5 breaths and exhalations. So what do you feel? You might experience that this outgoing air is warm and moist, and that's true. We take the dry, cold air from outside, bring it in the body, and the body moistens it, and when you throw the air out, it becomes warm and moist. So if you're always taking in dry and cold air in through the nose and bringing out your warm, moist air through the mouth, you end up drying up the nasal walls. And dry nostrils are more prone to infections, cold-related problems, stuffy noses. So it's important that you inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose so you can moisten those nasal walls and keep your nostrils healthy and in good shape. So those are the 7 qualities of a good breath. Deep, even, slow, quiet, without pauses, without jerks, and through your nostrils only. And remember to practice your breath like this every single breath of the day. And again, if you are practicing this new, in the beginning it may be hard, it may feel like work. It's okay. Anytime you are learning something, you are acquiring a new habit, you have to give it some time. So if you forget, that's okay. Anytime you remember your breath, just come back to it. Set some kind of alarm for you throughout your day, such as every time you turn on a light, think of a breath. Are you breathing diaphragmatically? Is your stomach engaged in every breath? Is it slower? Is it even, quieter through the nose? Or maybe every time you open a door, a car door, fridge door, room door, bathroom door, any door you open, first notice your breath. or every time you stopped at a signal. Think of your breath. So some kind of signal that will bring you back to your breath, bring you back to the current moment. Start practicing it more consciously, and then even when you are asleep, unconscious, you will start breathing more diaphragmatically. Our breath is our inner healer, and we have all been gifted with this inner healer. We just have to invoke the presence of this healer through more awareness and through more practice. So keep breathing with more awareness. I thank you for joining me in this session. Whenever you are ready, bring your hands to your heart with your eyes closed. Please join me in sending our goodwill out to the world. May there be peace, happiness, health, love, laughter and freedom to enjoy it all for everybody, everywhere. Anytime you are ready to finish this practice, bring your hands behind you, interlace your fingers in the back. Exhale, bow down to Mother Earth for all the kindness. Inhale as you come up to thank the sun for the energy and the light. One more exhale down, being thankful for everything we have and everything we don't have. Inhale up. And one last exhale down in gesture of a yogi. Forgive as you go down, forget as you come up. And we are done. Namaste. I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, stay happy, healthy, kind. Be well.